Hi, I'm Shaun. I'm the service manager here at Rolling Hills Trading with Shade Tree Tents. And what we're doing today is going to show you step by step on how to set up a shade tree 20 by 30 here in our warehouse, the do's and the don'ts to help make this process a little bit simpler for you. All right, so your shade tree tent should show up in 4 separate boxes. We'll have box 1, box 2, box 3, and box 4. So first step is we want to make sure that you have everything you need. In order to do that, we want to grab the smallest box, box number 4. This is going to have all the important information. So we're going to open this box up. This is going to have your invoice, this important sheet, which has our contact information and an email. The instruction manual here will give you your quantity pieces so that you can make sure that you have all the appropriate items that you need. The next important step is on box 3. There is canvas right behind this cardboard. Typically there with a razor blade, you're gonna grab that brand new razor blade and you're gonna cut through this tape. If you cut through this tape, you're gonna cut straight down into the material. We do not cover this in any warranty aspect if you cut your item with a razor blade. So now that we're gonna go through and identify each piece individually, it does come with a storage bag for each of the pole boxes. We have our 1s and 4 poles. These are gonna be the smallest poles out of it. You should have 10 of each of these, and these interconnect to each other for part of the roof. Pole number 2, this is gonna be the leg pole for your tent. You should have 10 of these. The longest pole out of all of the poles is gonna be the number 3. This is gonna be a horizontal pole that goes up in the upper roof structure. Then we have our end walls, the side walls with the windows, and then our canopy. This all comes in box 3. We have our 3-way connector, and then we have a 4-way connector, and this all goes in the roof structure. We have 10 foot pads. These all go on the bottom of the leg poles. We have the bungee balls to attach the canopy and the sidewalls to the frame. It does come with a pair of gloves to help keep your hands clean so that way when after you set up your frame and you go to put on your canopy, you're not getting dirt or debris on the canopy itself, keeping it nice and clean and white. This tent does come with very small stakes. This is to help keep tension on the canopy. This is not an anchoring system, and an anchoring system must be purchased separately. Okay, now that we've gone through and checked to make sure that we have everything that we need, let's go ahead and get started on assembling the roof structure. Going over here to the number 1s and the number 4s. And what we want to do is we want to go ahead and take the beveled end, and then we're going to insert it to the side that does not have a locking ball. When you insert these together, push on the button, slide them together, and make sure that they're locked together. We're gonna do this for all of the number 1s and 4s. So now starting with this roof structure, we need to grab our connectors. We need 3 of the 3-way pieces. Then we'll move to 3 of the 4-ways for one of the middle sections. All the way down to the last part of the structure is gonna have another set of 3-ways. We wanna make sure that our 3-ways are oriented correctly. So we wanna make sure that the short leg of the 3-way is facing into the tent. Now this is important on the top and at each corner of the frame. All right, now might be a good time to mention that you need about 4 to 8 people to help you set up this tent. This tent being 20 by 30, it's very wide and very large, and the help is required to keep it from twisting the frame. We're gonna start by taking our end section that we set up and put together, and we are gonna add one of the number 3s into the horizontal section here. And they just clip right into place. Make sure that the locking balls are added and locked in, and then go ahead and move on to the next one. Another important part is to make sure, because our 4-ways have 2 different sized ends, and we want to make sure that the short ends, just like on the end connectors, are the same. So we want these going horizontal. So we want to make sure that our bend will help us give us that strong A structure that this frame has. So now that we've got everything out of the middle, we want to make sure it's cleared out. We're going to take the canopy and we're going to drape it over the top of it. After the canopy has been placed onto the frame, get underneath and inside there and attach your bungees as this corner peak right here is going to be about 11 foot up in the air. So now we're gonna start putting our leg poles on the tent. We wanna start on one side of it and lift that one side at a time. This is gonna help prevent any twisting or anything like that to the frame. So now that we have our leg poles on, we want to go ahead and take one of the bungees, and we want to usually put about one per section on, so that way, when we go to lift up the other side, we prevent any wind from pulling our canopy off. We are going to be putting the rest of the bungees on when we put the walls of the tent up. So right now, this is just to help hold it in place while we set up the tent. So right now we're gonna be adding our side walls and our end walls. What we wanna make sure of is that right here on the edge, we have some Velcro. We want this facing on the outside of the tent. The arch is gonna be the top of the sidewall. And then on the inside, and we wanna make sure this is on the inside, this is a little strap that goes around the leg poles. So a good little tip here is get a handful of bungees and put them around your wrist so that way while you're holding the material, it's easy to grab one, pull it right off and go on. So you take the bungee, add it through the top, and then we're gonna go around the pole and we're gonna go through the sidewall. This way, everything's all attached around the frame of the canopy and doesn't move very well. This is a good time, make sure that you get your Velcros in on the leg poles here. Bungees that you installed prior to the legs going up, we wanna make sure that we have those attached to the sidewall at this point. So we're gonna go ahead and undo those and we're gonna attach them just like they normally would be at this point. The next step that we're moving to is the end wall. There's gonna be one with zippered and one non-zippered. The zippered side is gonna be wherever you wanna have your opening. And you can see it here, it's got a zipper on this side so that the center will roll up and out of the way so that you can leave the door open or close it at your convenience. So we're gonna attach our end walls to our side walls now. And what we wanna do is we wanna take this centerpiece and we wanna get the bungee to go around the pole and attach both pieces at the same time. And then after we get this done for all of the sides, we're gonna go ahead and it's got the opposite piece of Velcro here, and then we can wrap it around and attach it and hide our corner there. This also helps prevent breezes and stuff from getting inside the tent. Another side note that we want to make sure of is your grommet holes on the end walls, and that's the zippered and this non-zippered piece, are going to be at the top. That's where you're going to be connecting to the eyelets up here for the grommets and putting your bungees through them. This wall is pretty easy. It's got the top piece, you're gonna add the sides and then put your Velcros on and you're good to go. One of the safety notes that we wanna make sure people are aware of is that when you're setting up one of these tents, we wanna make sure that you get proper tension into the canopy. Each corner has a loop. This loop is not for anchoring of the tent. This is designed to help put the proper tension in the canopy. And this is where you would take the supplied anchor and some of the string, and we're gonna go ahead and tie it on, pull till we achieve an equal amount of tension all the way across the canopy. We wanna make sure this is done to help protect the tent from any damage or heavy material sagging over the top of it. At a minimum, we recommend having 100 pounds per leg pole of weight holding this system down. So now I'm gonna show you how to anchor this. If you purchased our sold separately anchor kit, we wanna take our anchor strap and we wanna go to this top horizontal bar. And we're gonna use that pull down force. So we're gonna loop around our top horizontal bar and then we're gonna take our anchor and you can give it a tug and make sure it's on there nice and tight. Now you can take this item and you can also stick it into a 5-gallon bucket filled with concrete so that you have a portable anchoring system. And again, that must be at least 100 pounds. So we're gonna take our strap, we're gonna go ahead and hook on, and then we're gonna have this into our bucket and or into the ground. And we're gonna pull it snug. We're gonna start by doing it snug, and then each leg pull as we go, we're gonna get them all snug and then go around and tighten in the last aspect to make sure that we have equal tension all the way around the tent. So now we've got our tent all properly anchored. The last step here is we just need to roll up the door and enjoy. This is a typical setup process. Should you have any issues setting your tent up, please give us a call. We would be more than happy to help you. Thank you again so much for your purchase, and we hope you enjoy your tent.